So, August 2025, what a month for AI, right? It has been absolutely dizzying and honestly a really pivotal moment for artificial intelligence. We've seen these incredible, mind-blowing breakthroughs, but we've also gotten some pretty serious reality checks. The big question is the AI world booming? Is it about to go bust? Or is it somehow kind of both? Let's dive in and figure it out.
To really get a feel for the hype, just look at this number. $250 million. That's the salary package a top AI researcher can get right now. We're not talking about a normal salary. That's the kind of money that rivals the biggest stars in the NBA. The war for talent out there is absolutely ferocious. But, for all that money, for all that excitement, there's this growing sense of unease. You have to ask, are we in a bubble here? Is this crazy growth actually sustainable, or are we watching the peak right before a huge drop? That's the real tension we're going to unpack.
And all of this really came to a head this month. This past August was, well, there's no other way to say it, it was completely unprecedented for AI.
Seriously, it felt like a new, totally game-changing AI model was being released almost every single day. This wasn't just a slow, steady improvement. No, this was a tidal wave of new abilities just crashing onto the scene, completely changing what we thought this tech could do.
Okay, so first, let's ride that wave. Let's look at the boom side of the story, all the astonishing technological leaps that have everyone's head spinning.
The biggest headline, of course, was OpenAI dropping GPT-5 on August 7th. And the scale of this thing is it's mind-boggling. We're talking about PhD-level intelligence here. It can reason across text, audio, images, and video all at once. And get this, it was trained on over 170,000 of the best GPUs money can buy. This is a massive, massive leap.
And that was just the beginning. It felt like the entire industry got the same memo and decided to launch their biggest projects in the exact same month. The pace was just relentless.
This momentum was everywhere. Google released Genie 3, which can literally generate interactive worlds from a simple text prompt. Anthropic came out with Opus 4.1 with superpowered coding skills. And at the same time, we saw huge open-source releases from companies like DeepSeek and Zhipu, showing a real push to build out China's own powerful AI ecosystem.
Now, the most important trend driving all of this is the rise of what's called agentic AI. And this is the big shift, you guys. We're moving away from AI as a chatbot you just ask questions. Now we're talking about an AI agent that you can give a complex goal to, and it will figure out the steps and actually execute them on its own. It's not just a tool anymore, it's becoming a doer.
But right when the hype was reaching a fever pitch, a very different story started to bubble up from behind the scenes. A story of caution, of course correction, and some serious financial turbulence.
And this is where you can really see the two sides of the coin. On the one hand, companies are deploying millions of GPUs, and startups like Field AI are raising $405 million. But on the other hand, AI stocks are tumbling. Meta just froze hiring for its AI teams. And maybe most sobering of all, an MIT study found that a staggering 95% of AI projects are delivering absolutely zero financial return.
This has led some analysts to start whispering about a new AI winter. That dreaded period where the funding dries up and progress stalls because the hype just got way too far ahead of the real-world value. It's a classic tech bubble pattern. And yeah, the warning signs are definitely there.
And this whole conflict isn't just happening in boardrooms or on Wall Street. Nope, it's spilling out into the real world. And it's forcing all of us to grapple with the risks, the ethics, and the very real human cost of all this technology. And who better to sound the alarm than the creator of the Terminator himself? When James Cameron comes out and says, "I warned you guys," it's not just a cute movie reference. It's a pretty stark reminder that the things we used to only see in science fiction are getting uncomfortably close to reality.
And these dangers aren't just theoretical. They're happening now, in very real ways. Someone was actually hospitalized after following a bad diet plan from ChatGPT. Sophisticated deepfake scams are exploding, and the tech giants are already lawyering up, like Elon Musk getting ready to sue Apple over alleged bias.
So of course, governments are scrambling to keep up. We're seeing things like the EU's AI code starting to set a global standard, and there are loud calls to label political content made by AI. But progress is slow. Colorado even delayed its own bill. And that regulatory lag is pretty concerning when you hear the CEO of Google DeepMind warning that true AGI could be just 5 years away.
But listen, this story isn't all doom and gloom. Not at all. While society is wrestling with all these dangers,
This exact same technology is also being used in some really profound, positive ways, especially when it comes to education and making things more accessible.
This is especially true in our schools. Anthropic is launching free AI courses for teachers. OpenAI has made ChatGPT totally free for all students and educators in India. And to help close the gap, Kentucky is actually deploying mobile AI labs to bring this technology directly to schools that might otherwise get left behind. It's pretty amazing stuff. So where does all this leave us? We have these two incredibly powerful opposing forces, this explosive boom in what AI can do, and this sobering bust in expectations and profits. Let's try to chart the road ahead.
So if we boil it all down, a few key trends stand out. First, AI models are getting both smarter and cheaper, which means they're becoming way more powerful and accessible to everyone. Second, those agentic workflows we talked about, they're going to become dominant. AI will be an active doer. We're also seeing a huge global shift, with China taking the lead in open-weight models. And finally, video generation is getting so good that the line between what's real and what's fake is about to get a whole lot blurrier.
And the pace, it is not slowing down. We've got major conferences on artificial general intelligence happening as we speak, and the next generation of models like Google's Gemini 3 and xAI's Grok 4 are just around the corner. That tidal wave we mentioned, it is definitely not receding yet.
Which really brings us to the final biggest question of all. We are successfully building machines with intelligence that is growing at a truly exponential rate. But is our collective wisdom, our ability to manage this power, to use it ethically, safely, and for the good of all of humanity, is our wisdom keeping pace? That, right there, remains the unwritten and by far the most important part of this story. Thanks for watching.